What a year for George Karl and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Unfortunately, there's no return trip to Boston except for one team. The world champion Celtics go on in this playoff series as they try to repeat. And the Cavs had one heck of a season. From the Coliseum, I'm Jim Donovan. Back to you, Waylon.
"1985, the year a curly-haired sportscaster started working here in Cleveland. That same year, another curly-haired kid was handpicked to lead the Browns at quarterback, Bernie Kosar. 31 years later, we pay tribute to somebody who can turn a phrase and capture a moment magnificently. One word, though, captures this energy, this wit, and this style: Jimmy. Jim grew up in South Boston. He loved sports, and his passion was rooting for the Bruins alongside his dad. Jim would sit in the stands at the Garden and call a game into a tape recorder, hoping someday he just might be lucky enough to do this for a living. He was at the Garden for Bobby Orr's epic game-winning goal in the 1970 Stanley Cup Final. A slightly older Jimmy graduated from Boston University in 1978. And who would have believed that one of his classmates back there on the East Coast, Howard Stern? After stops in Vermont and Minnesota, Jimmy landed right here in Cleveland and never looked back. 1 year later, Jim was made the main sports anchor, and there was a lot to cover. The Browns, the Cavs, the Indians, the Cleveland Marathon, even the Soapbox Derby. But one thing stopped him dead in his tracks: meeting her, his wife, Cheryl. And after just 1 year of dating, they got married. This is when life got really hectic. Imagine you have a baby girl on the way, Megan. You're working full-time, chasing all the local sports stories. And on top of that, you land a job with NBC Network, traveling all over the country, calling NFL games every Sunday.
I had to learn to cope with things when I was pregnant with Megan, because Jimmy had to go do a game in Florida, and I was told, even though I was due to have her, to go home and sit in a chair so we could wait till he got home. And we did, and she was born on New Year's Eve. And ever since then, I had to learn to just go with the flow.
And Jimmy has seen it all. When it comes to Cleveland sports, he's seen the ups, the downs, and the surreal.
What makes Jimmy so good is Jimmy cares. He cares about that he is doing a good job, and he is performing in a way in which the audience enjoys what he's doing.
Thank you very much, and thank you.
After 3 seasons without the NFL in Cleveland, call this one a dream come true. It came his way in 1999. Jim was named the radio voice of the Cleveland Browns. And for the past 17 seasons now, there have been 8 full-time head coaches, 24 starting quarterbacks, but just one voice.
He's to the 50, he's to the 40, he's down the near sideline, he got a block, he leaps 10, 5, touchdown, the Rabbit did it again!
Every announcer has their catchphrase, and that's going to be his catchphrase. Just that run, William, run. I remember right when William Green broke out of that.
On second down, they give it to Green. Green stutter step, he's through. First down, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Run, William, run!
He really wanted him to run, and that's the greatest call. I'll never forget it. He was going nuts. He was jumping up. It was so exciting.
It's a job Jimmy cherishes and doesn't take lightly for the most loyal fan base in all of sports.
It's just amazing in the booth when you're with him. He puts his heart and soul into that game. His mannerisms, he's got his hands going this way, his feet going this way. Every play, you know, he's helping them, and you just hope that someday that he gets to do a Super Bowl, because he definitely deserves it.
Oh yeah, I mean, the ultimate professional. He's always prepared. He's like a coach. He's afraid of that one mispronunciation that in his mind might mar his performance that day. So he's tough on the road because he doesn't like to go out the night before a game. He's always studying.
Jim was on top of the world, ready for the next chapter of his life when everything changed.
Since the summer of 2000, I have been dealing with a big problem of having leukemia.
This is when the adventure of his life really began. An anonymous donor from the United States gave Jim the most precious gift you could ever receive: his cells. When you're faced with something so enormous, you keep things simple. And for Jim, it was all about getting back to the booth for the Browns' season opener against Cincinnati. Jim sat in a room at the Seidman Cancer Center for a full month, going through the scary process of a bone marrow transplant. There were bumps in that road, spiking fevers up to 105. And yes, the thought of not making it crossed his mind. But Jimmy kept fighting and fighting.
There's the medical and physical side of it, and there's the emotional side of it. And they're both very important. And there are ups and downs. You're feeling good some days, and some days you're very, very sick, and you realize that your life could be hanging in the balance. And he always had a good attitude and did everything we asked him to do. And I think that that adds to it tips the balance in many situations where it could go the other way.
On September 11th, 2011, Jimmy made his return to the booth.
And again, I say thank you, thank you, thank you for all those cards, emails, and letters.
And with a clean bill of health, he returned to work at Channel 3. Jim continues to reinvent himself with another full-time project, anchoring Channel 3 News at 7.
Let's begin with this story tonight.
He can be as serious and deep as he needs to be, you know, if it's a rough or bad news story. But he always sort of brings a different spin to it, and I think that's what sets him apart.
That is what sets him apart, and that is how he sets the bar so high for the rest of us. Boston may be home, but Cleveland is where his heart is. Jimmy, a gift that arrived in 1985 that we're all able to unwrap every night and every Sunday. Congratulations, Jim.